So you passed a story on to me
Right.
Earlier this evening.
Mm-hmm.
A mother blames Jackson police for the death of her daughter.
Yeah, this is unbelievable.
All right. Jackson, Mississippi. That's where our good friend Ian Evans was from.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
Hey, he's probably buried there.
He was a good dude, man. I like that guy.
What's that guy?
Jackson, Mississippi. What started out as a peaceful candlelight vigil turned into an emotional scene on Monday night. Mm-hmm. The mother of a 15-year-old killed this weekend while riding in a stolen car is blaming the police for her daughter's death. But Jackson police say they are not at fault.
No, they're not.
Keisha Redman, Keona's mother, says her daughter didn't have to die.
Right.
They killed my baby. Someone else's baby is on life support and another person in jail damn near for the rest of their life because of a $12,000 car and a joyride. Jackson police say Keona and two other teens were speeding down Redmond Road in the early hours of Saturday morning. An officer clocked the vehicle and made the stop.
Okay.
Police say the officer pulled the vehicle over, and once he got out of the car and started walking toward the vehicle, the driver of the car took off.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Chief Lee Vance says the officer never gave chase because the driver turned down a side street and then slammed into a tree.
Okay.
But Keisha Redman isn't buying it and is still searching for the answers.
Isn't buying it?
Yeah, she's not buying that.
Okay.
This is about a high-speed chase. It was three kids in that car that night, 14 and two 15-year-olds.
Okay.
My baby is dead, and another child is in ICU, and another baby about to do life in jail, all because a police officer took the initiative to chase them children for one stolen car. So basically, this lady is saying that, why are you chasing my kids in a stolen car? Just leave them alone. They weren't
let
doing
them steal the car.
Yeah, they weren't doing nothing wrong. Leave them alone.
Let them steal that car. It's okay.
Right. Hail and kill caller, you're on the air.
Gotta say, I know you probably think I'm gonna be sticking up for all the misbehaving black people in the world, but I agree totally with Charles Barkley.
Well,
he's allowed. He gets to say it because he's still somewhat relevant. But Bill Cosby is like the black art Linkletter, so he's just some old fart who doesn't know what he's talking about. So he gets called an Oreo, but Charles Barkley probably gets a little bit more leeway to say these things.
Why? Because he's younger and he's still, like you said, a little more relevant?
Yeah, pretty much.
So age has a factor in this.
Yes.
Okay. But the message is still the same.
What was that?
Charles Barkley's message and Bill Cosby's message are the same. But
yes,
because Bill Cosby's older, he doesn't hold as much credibility or hold as much water as Charles Barkley because he's got a few more years on Charles.
He doesn't hold as much he doesn't carry as much weight with the generation that he's addressing.
So it's ageism. You're bringing up ageism, man.
Yeah, man.
Come on, if Frank Sinatra told you not to listen to that heavy metal music, you would have told him to fuck off.
No, I would refer to Pat Boone, pal.
Guy Lombardo.
Because he's in a metal mood, man.
Yeah, okay.
I
heard.
I'm referring to his 1986 release, In a Metal Mood.
I remember it.
Look at me recalling some old.
It was a novelty.
It was horrible, but I thought it was funny.
Right.
For the comedy.
It's funny, but I don't think he knew it was funny.
Of course not.
So, as far as recommending literature as we are, I would also recommend to you. It's a book and it's also a TV miniseries. It's called The Corner by David Simon, same guy who wrote The Wire, who created The Wire, actually.
Okay.
And it's about it's basically he as a reporter for the Baltimore Sun and a former Baltimore police officer who was the co-author named Ed Burns. They basically immersed themselves in his inner city neighborhood in Baltimore for 1 year in, I think, 93 or something. And they basically wrote the book based on that neighborhood, and they kind of followed all the residents of it. Most of them were, actually pretty much, almost all of them were addicted to heroin or coke or both. And they basically followed them around for a year and basically tracked their progress, such as it is. And the one thing, and Charles Barkley can make his point, and he does have a point, but at the same time, the kids don't have a fucking chance. When they grow up in this environment, that's all they know.
Well, I've got some advice for you, Doghouse.
All right.
I think you should stop reading and being so educated, because you're really bringing the show down with your knowledge and, insight.
And he has very little street cred.
Yeah. You don't have any street cred because you haven't been arrested, I don't think.
I guess I'm just too white for you guys, huh?
You are too white. I wish you'd stop calling with all your knowledge and insight and, your literary, insight on all these subjects, because it just makes me ill that you know so much.
Oh yeah, so you can recommend books by Walter Williams because he's black, but I can't recommend a book by two white guys.
It's a racial thing, man.
Yeah, but actually, the book is fucking fantastic. Goddamn, it's a very long book, but I almost read it in one sitting. I was up till 4 a.m. reading this fucking book. You, whether you agree or not, you won't put it down.
It was kind of like little victories for me. I sat through and read the whole thing in one reading.
Well, if we're talking about books for recommendations, I'd like to recommend one that I bought this week, Family of Dog, The Harvest by Jake Bannerman.
Right. J.S. Bannerman and Strikes Again. Yes,
he has, with a co-writer, Bailey Eldridge. Doesn't help much.
The two of them together don't sound like they don't have two thoughts to rub together.
Right.
And since we're all talking about books that we're reading, that's the one I'm on right now, Family of Dog.
Stop calling in with your knowledge and insight. You're making us look like total idiots here, Doghouse.
Just read the damn book. read the part at the end. Skip to the part, I think it's page 470 something, where they talk about how, everybody reading the book is probably thinking, well, I would have been different if I grew up in that neighborhood. I'd do better and I'd apply myself. No, you wouldn't. Because you wouldn't have the parents that you had. And you wouldn't have, if you really grew up in that neighborhood, you wouldn't know any better because that's all you'd know.
Sure. I'll take it under advisement.
Fantastic book.
All right.
Hail and kill.
Hail and kill. I knew this would be a hot topic.
Oh, yeah.